Greetings YouTube, this is Derek or Leica101 and welcome to Kygreum campaign setting video number 3, the Pantheon. In this video, obviously I'm going to be talking about the gods, goddesses, and the many different kinds that you can worship. So, in my setting, there are a few different aspects that you can worship. There is the Greater Pantheon, the Lower Pantheon, the Horsemen, and they're also called the Lords of Balance. And then there are obviously going to be demon cults, and there's going to be some different kinds of philosophies that you can worship from. So let's talk about those for a little bit. So first and foremost, we're going to start with the Greater Pantheon. These are the deities that make up the greatest and most widely worshipped of the deities across Kygreum. They have the most power, the most respect, and are mostly the ones that are involved in to some of the greater aspects of the goings-ons of the world. So we're going to go alphabetically with this, and I'm going to tell you their deity's name, a little about them, their alignment, and maybe their domains. We'll see what we talk about in a little bit. So let's get right into this. First and foremost, we have Alkatosh, the hooded god. He's the god of greed, secrets, poison, and murder. It's neutral evil. Domains are charm, death, evil, knowledge, and trickery. His favorite weapon is the short sword. And he's called the Hooded God because he wears a mask and then has a great hood that shadows him. And followers of Alkatosh are a little different than any of the other ones, so that's why I'm kind of glad that he shows up first in the alphabetical order. Is followers of Alkatosh wear masks and they venerate one of his aspects, the Destroyer of Reputation, the Grey Master, and a couple of others. These different aspects focus on whether he is the master of poisons or the god of secrets, and etc. So what makes them different is they don't believe in any of the other gods. They say that all of the other gods are nonsense, that Alkatosh is the true god, he will stay with you, he will answer your prayers, and that your life is all written down in Alkatosh's book, and it follows the Black Road. So that's what they venerate, is the followers of the Black Road, and that it's basically a thought of predestination, that every action that you make in your life is written by Alkatosh, and everything you do eventually leads to your afterlife that Alkatosh creates for you because of your life being written in this book. Next we have Ayala, the moon in the sky, goddess of the moon, sky, weather, wind, and oceans. She's obviously neutral. Her domains are air, water, weather, and her favorite weapon is the trident. She is obviously a female. Excuse me as I grab a drink real quick. Being neutral, she will do whatever she feels like. She is true neutral. She is found most commonly worshipped by sailors and those that live along the coast and know both her wrath and her glory. She is prone to choosing both extremes of emotion back and forth. None of the other deities can truly read her because of how quickly she flips. She has temples all along the coast, and many of them are open air and have pools of water that kind of stream down along them and have different the phases of the moon and built into their ceremonial shrines. Then we have Castiel, our father of creation, the god of creation, artisan, cities, protection, and the forge. He is lawful good, and his domains are the artifice, earth, good, protection, law, and nobility, and his favorite weapon is the warhammer. Now Castiel is the father of creation. He is the one that created the universe, that created the material plane and brought life to it. Excuse me. And he is the one that built the world upon his great forge and shaped it into what he wanted it to be. He has also, in his plethora of knowledge and weapons, he has an angelic host that fight for him. Those are his major creatures, or his subordinates, if you will. He is also the one that is worshipped by the righteous nobility, the ones that are the true heirs and looking to be venerated in the light of good. And it is said that on coronation day, for any good aligned king, that they entreat with Castiel and ask if their reign be blessed, and Castiel shows some sign of favor to them. And if no sign of favor appears on the coronation day, then the king is likely to be dethroned, killed, or have a horrible reign because Castiel does not favor him with his blessings. Then we have Alona, the Rose of Passion, goddess of healing, fertility, love, marriage, and peace. She is neutral good. Her domains are charm, community, good, healing, luck, and protection. Her favorite weapon is the sling. Alona is the sister to a god that we will talk about at the very end, Zerul. It's her half-brother. And that she tries to teach him that he is loved and respected, and he's a good deity. We'll talk about more about this later and why this story will make sense because of what Zerul is. She venerates all that is good and love, and she wants to bring people together and see passion and happiness brought to the world. They are usually venerated by people that are about to get married, or star-crossed lovers, or people that are not supposed to be together but really want to be. She tries to bring them together in marriage and happiness. Then we have Istra. She's one of my favorite deities that I created. She is known as the Dark Lady. She's goddess of monsters, undead, disease, and wrath, chaotic evil. And her domains are evil, chaos, death, destruction, and madness. And her favorite weapon is a scimitar. Istra was once a very beautiful and attractive woman, but when she died, she refused to say that she was dead, and she wanted to go back to her body and be that beautiful woman that she always was. So she fled from the beyond and tried to go back into her body as a spirit, and then repossessed her body. But when she did, her body from about the waist or a little bit below the chest down was all decayed and just nothing but bones, because it took her forever to get back, and she was half destroyed and ugly and disgusting, and she was very angry at this. And Zerul, who again, you see how all my deities are combined, Zerul took it upon himself to ascend this woman to godhood, and he found in her a companion that fits with his own personality, and she is also the one that creates the vampires of my setting, the Veamoro as they are called in the old tongue, and they are created from her by her bestowing upon them the dark gift. Next we have Seanine, Mother Nature, goddess of animals, earth, hunting, and nature. Her alignment is chaotic neutral. Her domains are animal, earth, liberation, plant, and travel, and her favorite weapon is the longbow. Pastoral legends claim that when the world was created by Castiel, Alona appeared from the nether reaches and gave life to the creation of the world that Castiel had made. And so infatuated with the creations of plants and animals that Seanine had created, that Castiel fell in love with her and took her for his bride. So she's the one that is responsible for all of nature and all the good, and druids and rangers sometimes worship her. Then we have Selene, the Lady of Fate. She is goddess of fate, fortune, time, and trade. She's lawful evil. Her domains are death, healing, knowledge, repose, and water. Her favorite weapon is the scythe. So she's the one that judges all of the dead when they die and sends them to heaven, hell, the abyss, etc., and decides whether they will be reborn or not, and if they are a great champion, what deeds they've done in life are meant for them in the afterlife. She despises undeath and the undead, so therefore Selene and Istra don't get along very well, because Istra takes the dead or the dying, creates them into vampires, and therefore gives them longer lasting life, which is viewed as an abomination by Selene. Then we have Torum, our Lord of Justice, god of justice, honesty, redemption, and hard work. His alignment is lawful good. His domains are glory, good, law, and war. His favorite weapon is a longsword. It's said that when the world was created on the Forge of Castiel, that the great light that created the world, the great spark, if you will, gave birth to that great light became Torum. and his holy glory in golden light. And Torum is, being the Lord of Justice, believes in fair trial, in hard work, in everything that is good. He will fight if need be, but only for just causes. He's against slavery, he's against oppression, and basically all that is good. He's depicted as a golden warrior clad in complete full plate golden armor and riding a great dragon, golden dragon. Its age category would be like ancient worm or something. The tenets of Torum are: uphold the highest ideals of honor and justice, be constantly vigilant against evil and oppose it on all fronts, and alleviate suffering wherever you find it. Now we're getting towards the end of the Greater Pantheon. We have Valkaes. He's the master of magic, god of knowledge, prophecy, magic, and mental power, and his alignment is chaotic good. His domains are destruction, knowledge, magic, repose, and rune, and his favorite weapon is a quarterstaff. It's said that when Castiel created the world and Seani, gave it life, that Valkaes took it upon himself to try to fill the world with magic. He wanted the creatures of the world to know the gift of magic. So he descended onto the plane and gathered up all of as much life energy as he could into himself. But when in doing so, all of that combined energy fragmented his brain and caused an explosion of energy out across the world that gave the world life, gave the world magical energies, but fragmented his brain so severely that he's almost got a dual personality. And in one section of the world called the Ordos Desert, it sucked all of the energy practically out of the world and created the desert. It's a magic dead zone. Nothing can exist there because it's said that the Ordos Desert is where Valkaes descended upon the world and sat down upon the world and gathered up the energy, and then when it exploded, he had sucked up so much energy from that area that there was nothing left. Lastly, we have Zerul, the Reaper of Despair. He's got envy, pain, darkness, loss, and hatred, and his alignment is lawful evil. His domains are darkness, destruction, evil, and war, and his favorite weapon is a spike chain. So I talked about that light and glory that created Torum, that became Torum. Well, in that great flash of light, it said that there was also a shadow was created. And when that shadow saw all of the love and affection that the light was given, it vowed its hatred for it forever because it received none of the same. And that shadow fled to the farthest reaches of the great beyond and became Zerul. And in his despair and his sadness, he took it all into himself and became this deity that just doesn't understand love or compassion and has only known pain and loss. And he tries to be a twisted intent and twisted image of Torum and everything that he does. So he appears as a cut and misshapen and different looking humanoid being every time he appears on the material plane, but always with massive cuts and loss and hatred and pain upon him. And that makes up the deities of the Greater Pantheon. Let's see what time we are. We'll go ahead and stop right here for right now. We're going to make this a couple-part video. This will be part 1 of the Kygreum campaign setting deities, the Greater Pantheon. Hope everyone enjoyed it. And then I will get back to you with the Lower Pantheon, the Lords of Balance, and then some of the other aspects that you can venerate. Enjoy gaming, everyone. Have a great day.